Mike, and they qualified first and second. You know, even I was still bowling back there then, so that was back in ancient history. I'm glad you said that. First good look at Mike Shady, a former three-time All-American out of the University of Nebraska. And he flirts with the left and strikes on the left-hand lane.
I think he'd given up on that shot. I think he was afraid it was going in, but it banks back.
I might add during practice that we've seen more than one shot end up in the channel, in the blue board. The long blue board. Yeah, that's exactly where Bryan Goebel will play. Out on the 1 or 2 board, and we more than likely will see a variety of these here this afternoon.
The 2-4-10, the right lane seems to be a little bit tighter, Dan, and the players have been having trouble having that ball get back. In other words, hook back. But when they go straight at it, then it goes high. So it could make for some interesting adjustments for these guys. Goes it straight. Too much.
A good run by Goebel, but an open in the opening frame.
We've seen this form before. 6 steps. He holds that ball up high. Doesn't move it. From now on, it's a 4-step delivery. Look at how steady the head is. High backswing and the long slide.
Now this time Goebel shakes him up a little bit and comes back with a key strike. But I think you're right. Let's see what Mike does with the right-hand lane. There seems to be a hang spot at the 1 or 2 board.
Well, it looks like for the right-handers anyway, the one player that can figure out this lane 62 here at Celebrity Sports Center is going to be the one that's going to knock down the most points.
Beautiful shot, light hit. Shady opens up with a very quick double and leads by 22.
You know, Mike finished second a couple of weeks ago to John Mazur, who's our tournament leader now. And I talked to him earlier and asked him, you know, what's the difference? Why are you bowling so well now? And he said that he had gotten burned out and his mind had been more or less fried. He went to a sports psychologist who gave him some tips on self-talk and how to relax. And he's just having more fun enjoying the sport ball.
Well, last night during a 5-game stretch, he averaged 256 while winning 5 straight matches as he opens the door back up for Goebel here in the third.
And it's big trouble. The 1, 2, 4, 6, 10. Let's see how he shoots it. There's a couple of schools of thought on this particular spare. One says to cross over to the left side of the head pin and drive the head pin into the 6-10. Other players move left and throw the ball straight, hit the head pin on the right, and let the ball deflect to the 6-10. He's going for the left.
Wraps the head pin right around, and so a valiant effort by Mike Shady, but after he opens, Goebel's down by just 3, but he's working on a strike.
And Bryan is very good at making these transition adjustments as the lanes change. He's able to change.
More loft, more hit, more roll, and no more 2-4-10.
Interesting. You can really see he lifted up on that one a lot more. And there's his wife, Kelly. I talked to her, and she said, hey, this is a nice habit to get in being here every week.
She flew in a little earlier this week than last week. She had no time to spare when we were in Los Angeles last week. I don't even think she got to see the practice shot. She was there from the opening frame.
You know, Bryan is working on a string of 6 consecutive victories on ESPN. Working for number 7 right now. That's magical.
Well, that one came off nice. Maybe a little too nice. 3-6-10 left on lane 61.
Just a little smooth with that shot, and lane 61 seems to hook back harder for the players. 3-6-10, that's how I'm practicing this shot in the practice session. Straight at it. Just enough.
It's a little early to be that concerned, don't you think? He knew he had it all the way. Let's see if Mike Shady can come back with a strike. Down by 4. Oh, a very similar hit for him on the right-hand lane.
Well, he seems to, his last couple of practice shots in that right lane, he left the 210 or the 2810, and he was shaking his head. Holds the ball waist high, 5-step delivery, pushes it out now. Ball's just a little early right there. A little over shoulder high in the backswing. Now the nice long slide. Follow through with the left arm out there, nice and square. How you want to teach your young player to finish at that foul line.
Trying for another double. And the 7 pin gets tickled and wobbles, but will not fall. What we should point out right now, though, is throughout most of the week, especially last night, when you threw the ball to the 1 or 2 board, you knew it was hooking back.
Well, sometimes on the championship round, different things happen, and you have to make that adjustment then and go with what's out there right then and there. You can't be thinking about what was there all week long.
Excellent crowds on hand all week here at Celebrity Sports Center. A wonderful complex, multi-million-dollar facility.
Big swimming pool here. Nice long slide going down into the pool.
We didn't have to catch that flight. I was going to try the slide. Of course, you and I have been sliding for years, so. Oh, my.
Oh, well.
That one was out of bounds at 15 feet.
Right.
That's called reload, and I'm hitting 3 off the tee.
And Bryan doesn't want to look at this one again. He's trying to get it out to the first board, and we see where this one hits about the 7th or 8th board, so he missed a little bit left, and this is the result.
He missed by a handful.
Yeah. 139. Goes it straight at the spare and still misses it. So his string of consecutive victories on ESPN on ESPN is in jeopardy right here.
Down by 10 at the midway point. A number of opens already. Scores were very high this weekend, averaged better than 220 to get to the final 5. Winner of this match takes on Curtis Odom and Parker Bone III, and our top seed for the second time in the last 3 weeks, John Mazza. Well, a beautiful comeback shot. Kelly approved. Now the question is, will he be able to double up? And of course, here's a look at the 1960 official celebrity groundbreaking. Spike Jones, Jack Benny, John Payne, and of course, the movie genius, Walt Disney, all involved in the project here in Denver. And while we were gone, in the 6th frame, he converted the 3-6-9-10, but now here's Shady in the 7th.
And again, he's high for 2 frames in a row. Boy, when you hit the nose twice in a row and come away with spares, you're very fortunate. As he shoots at the 610 and has it. Lost 6 pins in count, though, and his lead is only 4 pins right now. Goebel, if he can figure out anything on this right lane, has really got an opportunity here to keep that string going.
I'm just wondering if he hung up in the last shot on this lane or if he just missed by 5 boards. We'll find out. Money aloft, a beautiful double for Bryan Goebel. And you know, he's had a remarkable run on ESPN. He's bowled very well on the summer tour, and I asked him about that. What's been the key for him?
Well, I think in the summertime you come out here and you kind of look forward to playing a little golf and relaxing a little bit. It's warmer out here. You can kind of relax in the sun, and it's just a lot more fun. So mentally you kind of relax a little bit, and I think it helps your game a lot.
And back to live action with a 6-pin lead, maybe a 16-pin advantage if he strikes. Ooh, 2-pin wobbled around just a little bit, but he was fortunate to leave just...
And he's happy with just that. He sent it wide on that lane. He has a tendency, it looks like as I'm sitting right behind him, to drift a little left, and it's not always exactly the same. It looked like he drifted a little bit further left that time, and the ball didn't make it back. I throw it hard and straight right at the 2-pin. Has it. And it's not a high-scoring match, then, but it's certainly close. 5 pins the difference with 2.5 frames to go.
Mike Shady left the 3-6-9-10 the last time on lane 62.
All right, big shot coming up for Mr. Shady right now, trailing by 5, going to the 9th frame. A lane that he's only had 1 strike on. That was where he opened the match.
Possible 215.
Takes the lead, though, and sets himself up for the 10th strike here.
And would also be indicators of depth.
Correct.
And it's expanding as we speak. That's right. That's moving.
Left of target.
Oh,
Held for the 4-pin.
see, gripped that one like that.
Maybe it wasn't so far left. He might have made an adjustment, but sitting right behind him, that ball went over about the 4th board at the arrows, and he has been swinging a little bit wider.
Although you might be right, he might have decided to tighten up the lane a little bit, throw the ball a little harder.
And a little straighter, yeah. I always went by that game plan.
That was what you did best. Even when you were hooking it, Mike, you were still throwing it fairly straight. I hate to tell you that, but the videotape does not lie. If you crossed 6 or 7 boards, Mike, you were ripping the finger holes off.
Well, that's pretty good. 6 or 7 boards.
I think the rain gets heavier late at night and in the overnight hours, but some people will watch. Sunday clouds and sun, although you can't hold out an isolated shower.
Ninth frame, Mr. Goebel.
Oh my. Way out on the edge and the familiar 2-4-10.
Has to go for this, Dan. Just a little bit too far left when he left it back in the first frame. If he converts it, he's still ahead by 2 pins. If he doesn't, he can drop behind by 10.
Something we're watching for those showers moving in, and then later at night and in the overnight hours, this is 10:30 at night, we start to see it get.
Trying to slide it over and gets way too much with the 2-pin. So an open frame in the 9th for Goebel. Now his best possible score would be 186, and he's obviously upset with himself.
Well, when you're ahead in the match and you open to give your opponent the lead, it's hard to regroup and refocus and come back. But that's exactly what he has to do. He has to put himself back together here and get that first one in the 10th.
Oh,
And he's just lost on both lanes then. Leaves a 3-6-10. He needs to make this to force Mike Shady to mark in the 10th frame. And that's not a given.
Not at this point in time. Shady with 4 strikes thus far in the match. And 3 of the 4 have been on the right-hand lane.
Really pretty day. Breeze makes it feel good too out of the northwest. At 3 o'clock, it's 83 and 7.
That better hook.
Ooh, it did. We were sitting right behind it, and I thought he'd missed it too.
By a fraction, and you can see Bryan disappointed with the shot, not only in the 9th, but the first one in the 10th. Because you want to put some kind of pressure on your opponent. You want to make him show up in the 10th frame if he's going to win.
Well, plus, he had the hammer in his hand. He had the match well in hand, a double, and he's going to win the match.
Set that one down a little shorter, and the result wasn't much better. A frustrated Bryan Goebel walks off and says, I did everything I could, made every shot I could make, and I still only posted 173.
Still forces Mr. Shady to mark to win.
see,
Mike takes very little time. Once he steps up on the approach, he gets himself set and goes very quickly. Well,
my. Well,
when in doubt,
sometimes you get the breaks, and sometimes you get 5th place, which is where Bryan Goebel ended up this week.
you could just see the thinking in his mind saying, I don't want a 210 or a 2-8-10. I'm going to make sure I get it up there, and he got it enough to get a Brooklyn. But he's a winner right now. He's got enough right now.
The 25-year-old second-year pro from Ripon, Wisconsin, wins his first game, and it was more just survival of the fittest. And that's exactly what he could have left if he'd have given himself an opportunity to. You're right, Mike. Shady wins game number 1. When we come back, Mike Goebel with another average builder here on ESPN.